Want to make great tasting, nutritious, plant-based food? Fast, easy, low cost, low energy, with very little cleanup? Then let's get to it. Hello, Nachos. This is really an experiment, so I'm going to try this out. I haven't used the Kraft Not Cheese making nachos, and I thought I'd give it a shot. So again, no sponsors here. No one's sponsoring this video. I'm just testing this stuff out. I like it. It is just really good for what it is. So I'm going to make these nachos. The parts here that are normally animal products, obviously, are my protein, which is in this bowl, which is smoked tofu. I did a new kind of way to do this in a basket. You'll see that up on top there. It came out really nice. The stuff just smells great. That's going to be the beef that's normally in, or chicken or pork, whatever you chop up and put into your nachos on a traditional level. And then the cheese. So I'm going to use 2 slices of this cheese. Normally it's a 1 slice serving. And I've got my chips. Now you can use any chips you want, so it doesn't really make any difference. I like these. And you don't see any lime here. That's very traditional, or let's put it this way, lots of people use it. I can't really say traditional when I'm talking about nachos and certain things, because everybody makes them the way they want to make them and add what they want. So you don't have any lime here, because these are lime already in the chip, and I like that. It comes out really good. You have that little bit of lime taste in the chip, and that's where I enjoy it better. So again, there's how many different chips are out there in the market. Pick one, either nice and heavy. They're huge. And so 7 chips is a serving size of these. I'll put these in the description down below so you can see what they are and where I got them. And so that's that part. And I'll just go through real quickly what I have here. So I've got some salt and pepper. I've got some garlic powder. I've got some onion powder. And I've got some cumin here. I've got this oat milk, which I'm going to use. I've never used it to thin out the Kraft cheese before, so it's basically a real test here to see how well this works. Because you really have to get this thinned out to pour it over the top of the chips and everything and really create nachos. Because nachos, sort of, again, I'll use that word traditional. That method is a roux of butter and flour and then milk, and so lots of dairy, and so obviously there's no dairy here. So I'm going to do that a little bit differently. So I've got avocado. I've got a really nice baby Bella mushroom. Probably not going to use all this in there, but good portion of it. I've got a tomato. So these would be just tomato put on top, along with my green onions, which I love. And I'm going to make a guacamole, but not really a guacamole. It's just going to be chunky avocado on top. A little salt and pepper in it, and really that's it. I'm not going to go and make an exact, because I want the flavor to come out of this stuff and not so much in the guacamole. I want the avocado to mix in with all the flavors that are going to be in here. So I've got some garlic already here, chopped garlic. I've got some cilantro. I will put the cilantro in with the avocado. Green onions and the tomato will be sprinkled all on top. I have here the chipotles, and I'm just going to use the sauce out of here, the adobo sauce, which is all I really want, and that's going into this mix. Now, I'll mix all this and put it all together after I get everything chopped up and ready to go, and that way you don't have to be there, and I don't have to make cuts in between chopping up everything. So I'm going to get this all prepped, ready to be put together, and I'll be back. Okay, got everything chopped up here. As you can see, that's the mushroom and the tofu. It's got really nice fine texture. It's going to be great. It's just taking on that same appearance that you would do with the chopped or ground beef chopped up and then fried in the pan. So what I've got here is I've got my aluminum lined tray. I love this thing. It's right for 1 or 2 servings, even up to 4, just depends on what you're making. But for this, I've used 1 teaspoon of plain old canola oil in the bottom. It's got good high, burn point and all that stuff. And it's just there to keep everything from sticking, and adding a little bit of oil to it. Now I'm going to stir this a couple of times while it's in the microwave. But it's just going to be in, toaster oven. It'll just be in for about 6-7 minutes. And I'm just going to keep rotating it and turning it and getting all of it to cook all evenly. So I've got, that's going to go in. So I'm just going to pour this in here now. Get it pretty level. So it's all over the whole pan. This way it'll go faster, so it's not all one big pile. That's a bit more than one serving, but that's just the way it looks a lot more because of the mushroom and everything in it. But it's you could probably take some of that off, but for this particular occasion, we're just going to leave it that way. So I'm going to put a little bit of cumin just on top. This is all, you can do it or not. It doesn't really make any difference. I'm going to run a little bit of pepper. Now, the tofu was seasoned before I smoked it. So I smoked the tofu once it was in the little basket, smoking. It was pre-seasoned with some salt, pepper, and garlic powder. That's normally what I season all my smoked tofu with before. I like that getting into the tofu as it's smoking. It really kind of blends all the flavors in, and it's really great. So I'm just going to put a hair more of black pepper. And I'm going to put just a little tiny bit of onion powder in here just to give it a little bit more flavor that way. I'm going to dump garlic in here, just like that. And I'm just going to stir that around with a fork so it gets all in here, all over it. And again, I'm going to stir this 2 or 3 times so everything will stir in and mix in. Now, I'm not going to add any more salt to it because I already did with the tofu itself. So that's salted, and that'll kind of get around everything else. You can obviously salt and pepper to taste what you prefer, whether it's more or less, whatever. But that's all ready to go in the toaster oven. And again, I just used a couple of basic ingredients, nothing or seasonings, really not a lot of anything. So that's done. Oops, let's get that bowl back. Okay, so let me sorry about this bowl. Okay, now I'm going to use this same bowl. So I've got the cheddar cheese chopped up. These are the 2 slices. So these are going in here. This is going to go in the microwave. Get this softened and into a liquid. So what I'm going to pour in here is the oat milk. And I'm just going to use a couple of ounces. I'm going to see how this goes because I've never used that before in this cheese, and to see how well it thickens up. I'm going to put a little bit of seasoning in here as well in the cheese. So a little bit of cumin. And no salt because there's some in there already. A little onion powder, not much, very little. And a little bit of garlic powder. And this is all optional. You can do this however what you want. And then this is going to go in the microwave and be heated up. So I've got my tomato all ready to go. Oh, sorry, forgot one ingredient. This is the sauce from the adobo sauce from the Chipotle. My apologies. This had to go in. I'm not using a lot of this just because of my taste. This stuff's very strong, has a big flavor to it, and it's a little bit spicy. Not the kind that lingers a lot, but it goes a long way. So again, this is 1 serving for me. And again, if you're making more servings, you're going to double up the stuff, triple up, whatever you're going to do, depending on how many servings you make. It's starting to smell really good. Okay, let's get that all. Done. Beautiful. Okay. So this is going to go in the toaster oven. I'm going to get everything ready. I got my onions chopped, my cilantro. Cilantro is just going with the avocado. The onion's going on as a topping with the tomato on top. So I'm going to get this all done, and then I'm going to put it all together. Okay. It's all ready to go. This is just, if you could just smell that, it's just fantastic. Oh, it's just beautiful. So I'm going to put this together. First thing I'm going to do, though, is just make my, again, don't want to call it guacamole. Some people might scream that it's not really guacamole, but I'm using about 1/3 of an avocado here. And I'm just going to break this up. I want it real chunky. I don't want it... Remember, this is a single serving. I'm just eating this. So I've already got my... I've got 4 chips on the bottom. I'm going to pile stuff on there, and then I'm going to get all that, and then I'm going to pile more chips, and then, or the other last 3 chips to make the 7-chip serving. And then I'm going to eat it, basically, after it's all done. Okay, let's put the cilantro in here. Just like that. Now, I love cilantro, so I may be putting more in than most people would like, but that's just me, and you can figure that out on your own, whatever you like. I'm just going to leave this nice and chunky, avocado-y, beautiful. You know something, I'm just going to put a tiny bit of salt. In fact, I'm just going to shake this just like that, not too much. I'm not putting any pepper in it or anything else. I like salt on avocado, personally. It just has a good, okay, so that's beautiful. That's ready to go on top. Okay, so here's the cheese. As you can see, this beautiful, and that's just using the Kraft Cheddar and the oat milk, and then those seasonings that I put in, that you saw me put in. So look at that. Beautiful nacho cheese. That's what it is. Okay, so let's put this thing together. All right, so let's see. We're going to need, let's just have a fork and dump some of this stuff on. And this is like where you really don't care about being messy or not. This is so there's stuff on the bottom chips and they don't just aren't chips, okay? So I'm going to put some onions in here, just like that, beautiful. And then I'm going to pour some cheddar cheese on top. All over the nachos. Oh, is that looking great or is that looking, look at that. That's just beautiful so far. Haven't even done anything yet. Okay, next layer. Let's put some, I'm going to put them on a different way here maybe. That's probably not a good idea because you can't grab them. Okay, so that's the last 3. I'm just going to stick on here. And then we're going to put some more of the topping, which is our protein. It's just smelling so great. And again, this is nachos, so you just pile this stuff on. It doesn't matter whether it drips all over the place or not. It makes no difference whatsoever. Just get it on here. I'm going to dump it all on. Why not, right? Again, this is probably a bit more of the protein ingredient that you'd have for a single serving, but hey, it has to look good. Okay, so let's, some more onions on here, just like that. Beautiful. Let's put some more cheese. Oh yeah, look at that, nachos. Fantastic. Put that aside. Now, for the tomatoes, let's pile these on top. Beautiful. That's probably enough for me. Let's get the guacamole on top, or avocado. Ah, now, tell me that doesn't look like beautiful nachos. Look at that. You see that? Ah, fantastic. All right, so we're gonna have to taste it. So I'm gonna give it a taste and we'll see how that looks. I'm gonna put a picture up right in front first so you can see that. Okay, let's give it a taste. Oh, man, that's a lot of stuff on there. So guacamole, oh, let's get, went for the guacamole and lost everything else. Okay, that's absolutely fabulous. little spiciness of the adobo. Oh, man, this is so good. Okay, I can finish this easily right here. Fantastic, you're gonna love this. It was so simple to make, hardly took anything. All just great ingredients, just terrific. I'm FOODMAKER V, and remember, the best investment you'll ever make is an investment in your health. And please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.